In this video, I'm going to give you 3 things that took my RDL from 60 kg to 165 kg. Most of these tips you'll be able to implement yourself right away, and some of them will just give you an idea of why you may be plateauing in your own training on this movement. So the first thing that everybody should be doing with an RDL, regardless, male, female, whatever age you are, is lifting straps. So these were the first pair of lifting straps I ever got. They're just figure 8 lifting straps, real simple. I think I got them for maybe €7 or €8 off My Protein at the time. But if you're going in and you're trying to RDL and relying on grip strength alone, you're going to have a bad time. Eventually what's going to happen is your grip will start giving out, and you do not want your grip to be the limiting factor on an RDL. Your hamstrings, your glutes, your spinal erectors, all those muscles, they're much stronger than your wrists, so they can take a lot more load. So if you're going into the gym and you're not using some form of wrist straps for your RDLs, you're going to have a really bad time. I have upgraded these since to the VersaGrips. I just find them a lot easier to set up. They feel a lot more comfortable to me, but they are a lot more expensive. I think they're like €120 or so, but they've been fucking fantastic. Like, I think the first time I ever used lifting straps, I went in and I pulled like 50% more weight. I think I was stuck on 80 kg for ages. For some reason, I wasn't using lifting straps. I was too proud to use them. And I see a lot of lads in the gym doing similar stuff. They're limiting themselves because they're not using lifting straps. And the second thing, let me just crack open this can of Monster. The second thing is going in and trying to lift heavy every single week and not building your base. So what I used to do was, it was all about chasing weight, but I never took a block of training to actually focus on my technique and refine it, because there's no point going in, doing your RDLs and just chasing weight, adding weight to the bar every week if your form is dog shit and your technique is way off. Because what's going to happen eventually is you're going to reach a point where your technique is going to let you down and plateau you. So you're going to have to go back down anyways and drop the weight to build your base. So what does that even mean? Building your base is just dialing in your technique, making sure that you're doing the movement correctly, recording yourself, recording your technique. Ideally, you want to be sending it on to your coach to spot things that you can't spot yourself. So for many years I was on and off with RDLs. I'd go in and I'd do them and I'd just keep trying to up the weight, and eventually I used to get stuck at like 100 kg, 105 kg, and it was because of my technique. I'll see if I have some videos of it that I can put up here. But like, a big thing for me was just sitting too far back onto my heels, and it was just limiting how much weight I could use. My hinge was quite poor because of that. And like, once I got a coach, I started recording my lifts and I dropped the weight, I dropped the ego, and I built my base up and got the technique down. It became a lot better. And then the third thing is, this was like a massive change. It literally took my RDL up to the next level, was periodized in my training. So if you're going into the gym and you're trying to increase your RDLs and this is your approach, set 1, max out. Set 2, max out. Set 3, max out. That'll only work for so long, and eventually you'll hit a point where your progress stalls. You might pick up some injuries, but it's also mentally draining, and you're fucking quite tired doing it. Like, I remember going in, I was kind of stuck on 130 then, 130 kg for a while, and like, my approach was go in and do 8 reps max weight, second set 8 reps with that same weight, trying to third set same weight and try and hit the max reps. And it eventually got to the stage where I was like dreading going in to do RDLs, because it was taking so much effort, because I was giving it my all every week for every single set, and I wasn't really seeing much progression after a while. So this method that I've been using with my own coach has just skyrocketed things. It's made the process so much more enjoyable, and it's meant I've got way stronger, way quicker. And basically all I've been doing is starting a block at an RPE 6, so 4 reps in reserve, 6 out of 10 effort. So I'll do 3 sets at RPE 6, real easy. Like, I feel like I could do more. I finished the 3 sets and like that was super easy. But that's the point of it. It just gets you in the groove of the movement, builds up your confidence. Then next week I'll come in, I'll do 1 set at RPE 7. So 3 reps in the tank, getting a little bit tougher. And then set 2 and 3, I'll use these as my back off sets. So I'll just drop the weight right down. It could be 10 to 15%. And that'll just drill technique. They're super easy sets. They feel even easier having done a slightly heavier top set then. And then the next week I'll come in and I'll do my top set at RP 8. So now we've got 2 reps in the tank, so getting a bit tougher. And then set 2 and 3, again, I'll do some back off work, drop the weight by 10 or 15%. Honestly, the weight on the back off sets doesn't really mean much to me. It's the top set weight that I'm trying to focus on, but I'm not going in chasing a weight. It's based on how I feel on the day. So like I've an RP8 say for that day. If I'm feeling pretty wiped, 150 kg could be an RP8 on the day, and then the next day 155, 160 could be an RP8, depending on how good I'm feeling, how well recovered I'm doing, what other stuff I've got going on in my life. And then the next week I'll come in and do an RP9 for my top set, so it's even harder again. Back off sets exactly the same as before, super easy, drop the weight by 10 to 15%. And then the next week I'll come in and it could be an RP 9.5 or a max effort for set 1, and that's where I can really test my top strength throughout the block. And then I'll drop the weight again for the back off sets, super easy. And then all I'll do after that is I'll start the cycle again, start off at an RP 6 and build it all the way back up. And what you'll find is when you start the next block, what you're doing weight wise at an RP 6 at the start of the next block is a little higher than what you were doing last block, and then it gives you a nice runway for a couple of weeks to gradually ramp up the weight on that top set and make some serious strength gains. And it's made things so much more enjoyable, so much more fun. It works really well for me knowing that I just have one top set, one heavy set on the day, give it my all, and then the back off sets, really good confidence builder. I feel great then on the back off sets because I've pushed it harder on the top set, so it feels super light, and it should feel super light. And I've just been repeating that over a period of the last couple of months, and I've got up to this 165 RDL, which is over 2 times my body weight. So like, I'm not the absolute strongest. There's lads and ladies out there pulling way more than this, but I just want to share with you how this approach to training my RDLs has like made things so much more enjoyable, increased my strength gain so much. I feel way less fucking fatigued after doing my RDLs and really enjoy them. So if you found this useful, hit the subscribe button and follow along for more.